Board. Oh, we are back at the hive. It's been 3 weeks or so. There's been some activity. We're going to open it up. We're going to check inside and see what's going on. The hive was off to a rough start. If you weren't here or didn't see the last video, check it out. But long story short, most of my bees came dead. I installed them. They were surviving, but not very well. There was no eggs laid yet. So today we are looking for eggs. We're gonna try and find my queen and try to mark her, and then we're gonna add a little bit of food. The weather has still been fluctuating up and down. It's like 85 degrees right now, but then it's supposed to hit the mid-30s again later this week. We are going to add a pollen patty just for some protein because, you know, there's some flowers blooming, but not too much yet. And more of our sugar syrup just to kind of help them keep building while they're a little weak. So I'm gonna throw my veil up. I got the smoker cooking, and we're gonna open it up and see what they're doing. Off the bat, I see almost no movement. It looks like my bees are not surviving this. There's ants inside the hive, and the bees are, unfortunately, it looks like they're gone. There's a touch of movement, but I don't know if that last batch of cold took them out. I don't know if my queen died. And this is unfortunately all that's left of my hive. See her on this piece of comb. She's right here. She's alive. But with the rest of the bees dying, I'm not entirely sure what to do. I'll give you some thoughts. You know, this hive was probably doomed from the start, but I wanted to try and save them. This was always a risk. You know, that this hive was not going to propagate. I don't know what the right course of action here is. You know, I can give them food, I can give them food, I can give them protein, but at the end of the day, you know, they are pretty critically wounded. With how bad they are, I don't know if the queen is even laying anymore. I don't see any eggs that are active at the moment. Unfortunately, kind of at a loss for words. I'm bummed. You know, I was really hopeful that I could save these gals, and unfortunately I could not. I think that, you know, Pennsylvania winter can be brutal, and I think if this hive had come healthy, then they could have survived, especially with the better insulation of this hive. But I think that it's been so cold and they were weak, they didn't have the ability to generate the heat that they needed to even use this. I think they survived probably better than they would have in a traditional box. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think even with a lot of love, these guys are gonna come back. When I order my next bees, I will try to get them from a local beekeeper. There is a local beekeeper that my parents are friends with, or worked with in the past, that, you know, he actually just came and got a swarm off the neighbor's house. So maybe he will be so generous as to sell that swarm to me. They seemed like they liked it here. Okay, so I just need to throw a quick update in here. Full transparency, I came down to remove what was left of the comb and get rid of the bees that were left because of how grim it looked. And it's about to rain, so I was kind of in a hurry. And then I just came down and this is going on. There are more bees right now that are coming in and out of the hive than were even in there when I opened it up earlier. I am not entirely sure what is going on. Like, there are a ton of bees. It's hard to show on video, but there's probably a couple hundred to 1,000 bees flying around right now. And I don't know if this is all the bees that were out feeding, and now they're all coming back like super urgently because it's about to rain. But you know, I don't have any of my gear on, so I don't want to just jump into this hive. But you know, this looks a whole lot more promising than it did even 20 minutes ago. You know, the sky's gotten really gray, but man, if there were this many bees, I wouldn't have been nearly as disappointed. I thought my hive was toast. But their behavior is really weird. They look super frantic. Let me see if I can spin it around. So here's a view from the other side. Well, and of course, as soon as I flip the camera around, they all start going away. But I mean, the bees are coming in and out, like they're real frantic. I don't exactly know what's happening. It's very bizarre what this behavior is, because, you know, there wasn't even 25% the amount of lively bees just a second ago. Like, I have no idea what's happening right now.
Okay, so I have to record a little bit of voiceover here because it was raining and I saw all the bees come back, so I was setting this up in a rush. So I'm not really sure what happened. My camera quality looks like trash. I adjusted no settings and I forgot to turn my microphone on. But what's really crazy is that it started to rain, and as you can see, there are thousands of bees that came back. I'm telling you, when I opened the hive up the first time and I was looking at it normally, there was nothing going on. My queen was there, she was barely alive. The rest of the bees are barely alive. Upon further research, you know, the ones that were head into the cells looked like they unfortunately starved to death. They ran through the feeder very, very quickly. But when I saw all these bees come back, I got really excited that maybe they were coming back to the hive. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I will put in a clip shortly of what truly happened. I think the bees came back to raid the hive, take the queen, and exit stage left. This mass of bees that came back was very, very short-lived. They were there for maybe an hour or two. They drained the feeder. I put a brand new feeder on when I closed this back up. They drained the entire thing, a whole quart of sugar syrup. And then I went back up a day later. I literally checked this the next day. The feeder was empty and every single bee was gone. I checked the mesh bottom to look to see if maybe the queen had died. She had not. And all these bees that you can see swarming around me, coming in and out, every single one of them is gone. I do not exactly know why they were acting like this. I think when the storm came, they came back for a brief minute just to rest before they kind of went out and foraged again. And then they just decided that, hey, we're going to get out of here. And the reason they were getting out of there is what you saw in the very beginning. Black ants.
Oh god. My follower board. Oh. So you can see the ants, I didn't realize it, were in between my follower board and that plastic frame, and they built a nest. So, sufficing to say, I will not be putting this follower board back in. I mean, they are all over this frame.
Well, unfortunately, these gals have all passed. I'll be back soon with a new hive that will be stronger and better than ever. See you then.